Assalamu alaikum and hello, ladies. Today, I would like to talk about something that has been happening ever since the dawn of social media. Okay, it's the discontent, the seeds of discontent that it sows within couples who are going through trouble. For example, there is true love, the love between a husband and a wife, and a man and a woman, and then there is, you know, love PR. Now, how often do we confuse the two because of what we see on Instagram? And for those of us who are married and have husbands who are, full of flaws and less than perfect, and in the close proximity, especially that quarantine now brings, we see it like under a magnifying glass because it's up there in our faces day in, day out. We can't escape it. And we see all of them for who they truly are: scratches, tears, scars, marks on this bear, full of wounds and tatters and tears. But we need to find out and realize that, does this bear really deserve not to be loved because of all of the other loved couples on Instagram? And could they be possibly having a better marriage than us because they have it all? It looks like just going, wearing the most amazing clothing, and just looking actually blissfully happy, as if they're Adam and Eve and this world is their heaven. So I have, this problem that has been creeping up over a long time now is overwhelming. So many people are discontented with their marriages and with whatever they have, with their husbands, because, or if they're single, with how they feel as a single, because they keep seeing pictures pop up of their friends and family, or of loved ones, or of people, in their community and in their country who are, in this relationship where it's all over on blast on social media, and it looks like they're having the time of their lives while they can't, even get a date, or they have no one proposing to them, or it just seems so impossible and so elusive to find this kind of love that stays, and it looks so magical, and it looks like, it feels like fairies and gumdrops and unicorns and snowflakes and rainbows and hearts and cupids and all of this stuff. It just looks like the fairy tale that we've been sold. So I get this question a lot, and I decided to make a video on it so that we could put this to bed and really see how it truly is. So Bismillah. I want to, you to know that you are not alone if you do feel a bit of discontent and a bit, maybe some jealousy sometimes, I don't know. But if you really look at it through the lens that you're meant to, inshallah, you will not feel that way. And always, 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 as the hadith of Muhammad ﷺ says, look to those below you. When you see that what those above you have, it will sow seeds of discontent in yourself, and you will never be grateful for whatever that you do have, okay, that they might not have, or whatever you do have, period. Look to those below you so that perhaps you can be grateful and see that you are so blessed, even though you may not see that what you have is a blessing. So if you have this discontent, what you are experiencing is based on a belief that somehow everyone was able to find true love, but you didn't. And the man that you married, if you are married, didn't turn out to be that grand. Certainly not Instagram grand. And if you are single, then could that ever be you? Because it seems time and time and time again like that will never happen for you. Okay? Somehow the people on Instagram, they deserved it more than you. Or that they, due to some determining factor, qualified for that kind of love, but you haven't. So what was amiss here? Firstly, what you must understand is that a man's love is something beautiful, but by no means something that adds or subtracts from your value if you don't have it. If you don't have his love, it does not add or subtract your personal value. It is a bonus on the side. You are the main dish, and you should never forget that. Secondly, a man's love is very fleeting. If you know anything about men and how they are in their love, they're moody. One day they feel it, one day they don't. One day they're all up with roses, and the next day they don't want to see you. It's just a moody thing. It's not always just bliss. And this is something that is a fallacy and a myth, and I'm coming to that. But it's a very incredibly shaky foundation for building a relationship on. And there are factors, but are not relevant to this message. Many men have wedded Many men have wedded and will wed women, and either have extramarital affairs or leave them. A small minority will stay out of family pressure or dutifulness, but the majority will not. A lot of men are unfaithful, and you cannot say my husband is faithful. I mean, nobody knows. Okay, you think and you assume, but men are expert liars, and sometimes you just won't know unless he's with you at home and he works from home and is in your face 24/7, or you know and mark and track his every move sharper than an FBI agent. You're just not gonna know. Okay, certain things he will hide from you tooth and nail, and even if he shows you his phone, you just won't know sometimes. Of course, there are ways to find out, but again, do you want to base your whole entire sanity and life on this premise? It's very, very shaky premise. So, which means there is no such thing as happily. There is no such thing as happily ever after. And I'm coming to those old gray couples who swear they have it. Number two, it is in the nature of man to be dissatisfied with one woman for long term, forever, which is why I teach feminine mystery and never to be the pursuer. Men are by nature polygamous. It is in their biology and psychology, and Allah's created them this way to never be loyal to just one woman. Even if they will give you the majority and the lion's share of their resources, of their love, of their time, of their affection, it doesn't always mean even that their heart is always with you 100% of the time. It could be roaming elsewhere, and their bodies might be with you, but their minds, you never know. You just never know. Okay? This is why Islam prescribes ta'addud, which is polygamy, and this is why I keep telling women, never make a man the center of your universe or your end goal. It always, 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 always ends up in tragedy, and, unless Allah takes one of their souls first. You cannot base your entire sanity, your life, your purpose, your end goal, your entire being on another human being. Number three, what you feel is normal, so don't feel bad about it. Everyone stalks beautiful couples because it seems as though they have found the magical elixir to life, and we're a bunch of muggles that can't find our other matching sock, let alone a suitable life partner. Even beautiful girls who are married to handsome men stalk other beautiful couples because we will never be satisfied with what we have. Let's be honest, ladies. We will not be satisfied with what we have, no matter how magical and amazing what we have might be. There is some part of us, once we know our partner's flaws, that is always going to look towards greener pastures. This is the nature of human beings. Okay? It always looks better on someone else. We know our partner's flaws deeply, and the halo effect a beautiful wedding photo or loved up couple's photo gives another couple makes her man look better than our own spouse, because we know the deeper, cringier details of our own spouse, but we don't know the deeper, cringier details of her spouse, so it always looks more juicy. Number four, you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. I hope this video will alleviate some of the discontent that you might feel, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Most of what makes a love story look romantic is, as I said in the beginning, heavy love PR or love marketing. A lot of love is love PR and love marketing. Nobody, and Instagram and social media will never capture the hardcore acts of love where a husband will, sacrifice his life for his wife, or, go to the ends of the earths. How many earths are there? Go to the end of the earth for her, and maybe donate a kidney for her. Sometimes you will never see this on social media. It will never be up there with all the loved up fairy tale rainbow couples. You won't see this, but that is actually that kind of love that, stands the test of time. And it's not this fairy tale stuff that we see online. So, number five, the romance lived up phase is only in the early days and doesn't last long. But it's what gives other women the most grief, because it's what we've been schooled by movies that love should look like. So it's this illusion of this happiness and this fairy tale and this happy ever after. So it is what is most damaging to most other women and their relationships and their perception of what a healthy relationship should look like. Okay? Now I'm getting to why this is the case. It is the love PR that is being peddled as real love that makes women feel dissatisfied with their relationship with their husband, or if they're single, dissatisfied with men in general, because those men fail to live up to their the sweeping gestures that you see being made on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, and the husbands that we have, or the men that we've been introduced to, or have sought us and failed, or whatever the case may be. they've not lived up to those grand sweeping gestures, so they just aren't good enough then, isn't it? I mean, if we keep measuring them by that yardstick, which in reality is totally fallacy and false. So you must understand how this works. At the beginning, our systems are flooded with oxytocin and only later with dopamine, which is why the butterflies only last so long before you then slip into the bonding and, really foundational forming relationship, which is why a few years into marriage, you will not feel butterflies anymore. That feeling will pass. But what you have is hopefully a solid, grounded relationship that will stand the test of time and weather all the storms that life throws at you. But if you base life and love on that initial phase, that oxytocin phase of butterflies and flowers and hearts and all chocolates and whatever, that is going to lead you to doom because you will not prepare yourself for the inevitable reality of what love really is about. Okay? So, love is not meant to make us feel giddy all the time. In fact, my advice is if he makes you feel giddy, it's a red flag. The love that lasts are with men. I mean, this is, of course, a general advice. It's with men who aren't that gaga, who you aren't that gaga about. And they move mountains to make you happy. And until you find that, never go with the hot rod that you have to constantly chase or coax. And if you watch my previous videos on this channel, you will understand that I never, 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 never allow chasing, and there's many reasons for that, which I have cited previously. Number 6, if a woman is blessed with a man she is loved by and loves, and he is faithful till death do them part, then alhamdulillah, this is bloody rare, and most women will never find it, regardless if they are supermodels or not, because it is a nasib not meant for everyone. It is a decree or a destiny. Some women will never marry. This is a fact. People die single all the time. Okay? Some will marry and have kids. Some will not have husbands if they have kids. Some will marry but they will never have kids. They will wish they have kids. Some will have kids but their husbands leave them. Some will live with their husbands for the rest of their lives, have kids with them, only to find out after 40 odd years of marriage that he has another family and he has been seeing other women for years, and she might even be a beautiful woman, but that didn't keep her man, and it never really does. Beauty alone cannot suffice a man. So it's a fallacy that every pot has a lid, and as I said, women die single every day. Perhaps we meet our spouses in Jannah, if not here, but that's not what we care about. We want the movie, the fairy tale. Women will forever be dissatisfied until their man delivers up this Disney fairy tale romance. And until he does that, we will continue and continue to compare him to those Instagram couples. And this is detrimental to your relationship and to your marriage. And if you are single, you are aiming for the wrong goal. So most men who give their women this are either psychopaths, that Disney fairy tale romance. They're either psychopaths with addictive personality disorders. Okay, it always starts off hot and heavy. It's also extremely charismatic, and their sweeping gestures are not limited to only one woman. So if they're doing that to you, then they're probably a very charismatic, tortured artist archetype, and they're showing that kind of love to every woman that they meet. The other reason could be that he is extremely wealthy, and extremely wealthy men can. They don't always stay faithful because money is power and leverage. They don't have to. And why would they ever give up the diversity of their tastes in women, concubines and mistresses, or secret polygamy when they can have their cake and eat it? It's very rare. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that your husband is guilty. I'm not saying that anything of that sort. I'm saying that it is very, very rare. Okay? Number 7, the old couple. Okay, when you see the old couple, many people go, oh, and the oohs and the ahs, and they're so, enthralled by this loved up couple that they've made it all these years, and their love is true. You don't know. You don't know. I'm coming to that. One of them had to lose themselves completely, or both of them, to some degree, to keep their marriage together. That kind of love comes with immense sacrifice. I know many old couples where one or both of them had extramarital affairs. And that took immense forgiveness, or maybe not even forgiveness, but tolerance, just to, keep living together. For whatever reason, they just stuck it together. Now, the only way the woman could stay with him was to turn a blind eye or herself go and cheat to even out the playing field. Either way, they may be together, but what is the worth and the quality of that relationship when you have to lose yourself to keep a man in order to keep that fantasy picture intact because you're too worried about what people will say? Now, you don't know what sacrifices she made to stay married or what sin she had to put up with to stay with him because what will people think? And she can't bear getting real with herself and living an authentic life because her self esteem is so low that she'd rather live a lie to show people she can keep a man, even though the price may cost her her health, her life, her sanity, her deen, her spirituality, her religion, her finances, and her reputation. Most women will keep a man at all costs, and the highest cost is yourself and your soul. Now, that's too high a price to pay, so you need to think about what you prioritize and is it really worth it to show the world that you have a man. You don't know how much he hurt her, yet she stayed. You don't know that her love for him meant disrespecting herself. You don't know what bad habits of his she had to put up with just so that she could show the world that she still has a man. Because without him, she's nothing, right? I hope by now you can see that having a man is no sign of your worth. In fact, more times than I can count, leaving him is. That a man's love for you is worthless in the place of your love for yourself, and it's a bonus at best. To have a man to show the world that you're worthy or accomplished is basic. The most powerful women with high self-esteem and crazy self-love are either single or with men they would never tolerate if they showed unkindness or disrespect to them because she knows her worth. She won't settle for a cheating liar, abuser, or a bum. She has standards, and those women are few and they're rare. I mean, how many of you, of us, are prepared to be alone because we value ourselves above being with a man? I hope now you will see more discerningly there is more to love than meets. I hope now you see discerningly that there is more to love than meets the eye. When love PR is strong, it is often an overcompensation for some other screw up, facilitated by wealth which doesn't go very deep or isn't very lasting. If, however, a couple does have it, that good, wholesome kind of love, then pray for it. Pray that you are blessed with the same. And that kind of love that will never have you costing you the love of yourself. Because without that, that is the greatest tragedy. And without that kind of love, you cannot even love Allah, you cannot even worship Him. And hence you lose out in both worlds over some man. And that just isn't worth it. Not for some good sex and not some good cuddles either. That comes at a price, and you need to really understand your worth and never look towards others as having that magical fairy tale and your husband not meeting that grade. It is honestly sometimes just a flaw and a fallacy and heavy love PR to show the world that guy could be gay for all you know, and you're comparing your husband to him. Just really, really look for all the little things that Allah has given you in your husband to appreciate and to fall in love with, and you will never be dissatisfied again. And say Alhamdulillah, because there are some women whose lot in life is far worse than yours with their husbands. And if yours is really, really bad, then you need to get help. You need to see what can be done about this. And for a makhraj, for a solution and a way out of your difficulty. So yeah, never stop believing in yourself and never trade in what you have for what you think others have, because often they don't have it. If you do like my videos, please subscribe, hit the notification bell button down below. But do subscribe right now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll wait. This is so that we keep a handhold that is firm and never breaks, and every time I upload a video, you get a notification and you can come and watch it straight off the bat when I upload. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.